Are you tired of feeling like you're just going through the motions of life, never truly engaged or enjoying what you're doing? What if you could tap into a state of mind where time flies, productivity soars, and real satisfaction is found in the day-to-day? In this animated summary, we'll dive into Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's groundbreaking book, Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience, which reveals the secrets to unlocking this powerful state of being. Get ready to transform the way you live, work, and play. You'll learn about the magic of the flow state, where intense focus, complete engagement, and pure enjoyment come together to elevate every aspect of your life. We'll guide you through the essential components of flow and share practical tips for cultivating a lifestyle that not only leads to greater happiness, but also to personal growth and fulfillment. By watching this video, you'll not only gain insight into achieving peak performance in any endeavor, but also discover how to create more meaningful and enriched experiences every single day. Don't miss out on unlocking your potential for a more vibrant, purpose-driven life. Join us as we uncover the key ideas from Flow and help you find your path to optimal living.
Before we dive into the first idea, if you are a visual learner, you have to check our app, Morphosis. We have animated book summary videos for the best self-development and business books. Click the link in the description to get a 7-day free trial and learn from hundreds of animated book summaries. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we upload free videos.
Idea 1. The concept of flow. The concept of flow describes a special experience where people become fully involved in what they're doing. Imagine doing something you really enjoy and being so wrapped up in it that everything else seems to disappear. Time flies, and you forget about your worries and distractions. You're just living in the moment, focused on the task at hand. When someone is in this state, they're not just having fun, they're also performing at their best. It could be while playing a sport, making music, or even solving a challenging problem. The activity needs to be neither too hard nor too easy, hitting that sweet spot where it's just right to keep you engaged without feeling overwhelmed or bored. To get into flow, you need to have clear goals so that you understand what you're aiming to do. You also need direct feedback, which means knowing right away how well you're doing. This helps you stay focused and make any needed adjustments on the fly. While in flow, you feel like you have control. You aren't concerned about failing. Instead, you're just into the action, almost as if you and the activity have become one. This feeling can make you lose track of time because you're so engrossed in what you're doing. Some people find flow in their hobbies, like gardening, painting, or playing chess. Others might find it at work when they're tackling a project that's really engaging. And it doesn't happen all the time. It takes the right mix of challenge and skill, along with a real commitment to the task, to get there. But those who find flow regularly often feel more satisfied with life, because these moments of deep focus can be really rewarding. Idea 2. Components of flow. To understand what makes up flow, consider imagining an experience so engaging that everything else fades away. Time flies, and you are completely absorbed in what you are doing. This captivating state hinges on certain elements. The first key element is having clear goals. When you know exactly what you're trying to achieve, it becomes easier to focus and stay on task. Goals give direction and a sense of purpose. Second is immediate feedback. This means knowing right away how well you're doing. When you can tell whether you're on the right track or need to adjust your approach, you can maintain a state of flow. It's like playing a game where you can quickly see your score or level. A balance between challenge and skill is also crucial. If a task is too easy, you might get bored. If it's too hard, you could get anxious or frustrated. But when the difficulty is just right, matching your current skills, it's like hitting the sweet spot that keeps you engaged and in the zone. Another element is the merging of action and awareness. In this mental state, you become one with the task. Your actions seem to happen almost effortlessly, and your awareness is completely focused on what you're doing. Distractions melt away, and it's like nothing else exists apart from the task at hand. This leads to the exclusion of distractions. When you're truly in flow, it's as if the outside world has turned off. You're not thinking about other things. No worries about what to make for dinner or a rough day at work. All that exists for you is the activity you're doing. Since you're so involved in the task, there's also no fear of failure. You're not concerned about messing up or looking bad. Instead, you're in a state of pure action, taking risks and pushing boundaries without being hindered by the fear of what might go wrong. Self-consciousness disappears too. In everyday life, you might critique yourself, but in a state of flow, those inner doubts and criticisms are silent. You are what you're doing, and there's no mental space left for being self-conscious. Lastly, your sense of time becomes distorted. Have you ever been so drawn into something that you forgot the time? Hours pass like minutes. That's a common feature of flow. When you look up from what you're doing, you're often surprised at how much time has actually passed. To really grasp flow, imagine being fully alive, alert, and in the moment, where every action, every thought follows inevitably from the previous one, like playing jazz. Your whole being is involved. You're using your skills to the fullest, and it feels like you're doing exactly what you ought to be doing.
If you like the video so far, give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we upload more animated book summaries. Also, leave a comment if you agree or disagree with the ideas of this book. We read all your comments. Thank you for your support. Now let's continue.
Idea 3. Autotelic personality. The concept of the autotelic personality refers to those individuals who have a tendency to engage in activities for their own sake, rather than for some external reward or outcome. The term autotelic is derived from the Greek words auto, meaning self, and telos, meaning goal. People with this personality type are naturally driven to do things because they find the experience itself rewarding and satisfying. People with an autotelic personality approach life with a curiosity and persist regardless of potential difficulties. They enjoy the process of doing an activity, such as solving a puzzle or playing a sport, not just the end result like winning or getting praise. Their satisfaction comes from the experience itself, the journey rather than the destination. These individuals are also good at controlling their attention. They can focus intensely on whatever they are doing and tune out distractions. As a result, they often experience flow more frequently and intensely than others. They're skilled at setting goals that are both challenging and realistic, providing just the right level of difficulty to maintain engagement without causing frustration or boredom. Autotelic personalities are resilient because they find intrinsic rewards in the activities they undertake. This means that even in adverse circumstances, they are less likely to give up, since their motivation comes from within, and they enjoy challenges as opportunities for learning and self-improvement. In a world often focused on external rewards like money, grades, and praise, those with an autotelic personality show that finding joy and purpose in the simple act of doing can be a powerful motivator and a source of fulfillment. They remind us that sometimes doing what you love and loving what you do is an end in itself. Idea 4. Conditions for flow in activities. To experience flow during activities, there are certain conditions that need to be met. There must be clear goals that set the direction and structure for the task at hand. It's like knowing exactly where you want to go on a map, which gives you clear understanding of the steps you need to take. Along with having definite goals, it's important to get quick feedback. This means knowing how well you're doing as you're doing it, like a video game that shows your score right after you complete a level. Another key condition is finding a good balance between how challenging the task is and what skills you have. The task shouldn't be too easy, otherwise you'll get bored. On the other hand, if it's too hard, you will get anxious or give up. The activity has to be right at that sweet spot where it's just hard enough to push you, but still within your abilities to keep you engaged. These conditions help to keep you fully involved in what you're doing, blocking out any distractions. When you're in this state, worries about failing don't really enter your mind because you're too engaged with the present moment, focusing on what's happening right here, right now. When everything lines up just right, you might find yourself losing track of time because you're so wrapped up in what you're doing. You might also forget yourself and your surroundings because you're not thinking about anything else but the task. You're one with the activity. It's this deep level of involvement that makes flow such a unique and enjoyable state. Idea 5. The flow model. The flow model is a way of looking at how people engage with activities that challenge their abilities. Imagine a graph where one axis represents the challenges you face and the other shows your skills. Where these two aspects meet is important. If a task is too easy compared to what you can do, you might get bored. If it's too hard, you might feel anxious. The sweet spot for flow is when your abilities are perfectly balanced with how much the task challenges you. In this zone, you're likely to lose track of time because you're so focused on the activity. The activity is not so difficult that you're stressed, but it's also not so easy that you're not interested. In this model, the main idea is that people can reach a state of complete attention and immersion in what they're doing. When both the challenge and the skills are high, you're most likely to hit this state. This is the area where you experience flow. To reach flow more often, you might look for tasks that stretch your abilities just enough to be engaging, but not so much that they're overwhelming. By increasing your skills or seeking out greater challenges, you can keep moving your experiences into the zone of flow. It's about finding that balance where you're growing and enjoying what you do at the same time. Idea 6. Flow in work and leisure. When people think about their jobs and hobbies, they usually see them quite differently. One might believe that work is something they have to do, while hobbies, sports, and entertainment are things they choose to do for fun. But it's not always about what you're doing. How you feel about it can also make a huge difference. Take work, for example. Many individuals find their jobs boring or stressful, and this often comes down to the kinds of tasks they do day in and day out. However, for those who dive into their work with full attention and take on tasks that are just right, not too easy but not impossibly hard either, there's a chance to experience a deeply focused state of mind. This is about getting lost in what you're doing, feeling productive and creative, and not watching the clock. In hobbies and leisure activities, the same idea applies. When someone is doing something they enjoy, like playing chess, painting, or running, and they challenge themselves just enough to stay engaged, they too can hit this sweet spot of total involvement. In this space, worries and frustrations fade away, and time seems to flow by without notice. Hobbies and leisure activities are great for finding this groove because people often pick things they naturally like and that they are good at, which means the balance between challenge and skill is already there. Plus, since these activities are chosen freely, there's usually a greater sense of control and satisfaction. The key is to look at work and play not as opposites, but as different opportunities to experience that intense and rewarding feeling. By changing the view of work as a chore or leisure as just downtime, anyone can find new ways to inject passion and joy into everything they do. It's all about engaging in each task fully, choosing to tackle challenges that match one's abilities, and essentially creating a life where work and leisure alike are parts of a harmonious, gratifying whole.
These were only some of the ideas of our animated book summary. If you want to see the full animated book summary, just download our app from the description below. It has hundreds of videos like this one, and you can watch it with the 7-day free trial offer we have. Just click the button in the description and start learning today. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when we upload free videos.